light. It's super vibrant and contrasty and color accurate. This is an A+ display. Great for gaming, for watching videos, and also no notch, in case you forgot about that. The only downside to a display like this is how big it makes the phone feel. I just came from the OnePlus 6, as you know, with a smaller display, and the Pixel before that, and using an iPhone 10 a lot. So moving up to this Note, it's one of the few phones that really makes me work hard to use it with one hand, and I prefer often to use it with two hands. And I don't say that about a lot of phones. So there's a lot of reaching to get up to the top of the display and then back down to the bottom, and you're gonna notice it. But then again, if you're getting a Note, you already know what you're getting yourself into, and sometimes that's just something you gotta calibrate for. But all in all, great to keep doing that well. But really, I think we just keep forgetting, like, the build quality, the industrial design, or just generally the hardware of this phone is one of the most underrated things about it. It's really great. You have the premium build materials, right? So you got metal all the way around. This is the new blue one that I actually kind of like a lot. Tight corners, like really boxy as a phone, much more squared off than most, but I like that. They still have the rounded corners of the display, but not by a whole lot. And then overall, it just has this chiseled, dense look and feel, and it checks a lot of boxes. It's IP68 water resistant. It has a headphone jack. It has excellent clicky buttons, and I'll talk more about those in a bit. And one of the more underrated upgrades to the hardware is the speakers. They're in the same place as they were, but they're now much louder and fuller sounding and just straight up better than before. I definitely appreciate that. Slight downside to the hardware is the glossy back that will 100% collect tons of fingerprints, as you can see. As good as Samsung's glass looks when it's clean, it can get pretty clouded up. But obviously the easy fix, you can drop a dbrand skin on it. I may recommend a black skin specifically for From my use so far, it's been smooth and snappy. It's what I've come to expect, and it's gotten one software update so far. Now this is the 128 gig version with 6 gigs of RAM. I haven't yet gotten to try myself the 512 gig version with 8 gigs of RAM. But the thing about that, first of all, it's $250 more expensive than the baseline version, so that's all months ago, which makes it an upgrade from the last Note. So just like the S9 Plus, you give it a lot of light, and it is an excellent camera. You can get real shallow depth of field if you get close enough to your subject. It has your pretty classic Samsung vibrant colors and slight overprocessing as far as sharpening and noise reduction. You've already heard this all from me before. The one new addition is the AI in the settings, which they call a scene optimizer that will automatically adjust certain colors when it recognizes a subject. So with flowers, it might boost the warmer colors, or with landscapes, it might boost the blue of the sky. But I found this more inconsistent and annoying to me than useful, so I turned it off after a while. But what I do think was useful is what they called flaw detection, where basically if someone blinks, or the photo's blurry, or it finds a red eye or something's messed up in some way, it'll let you know right away so you can take another one. That part's cool. But overall, yeah, so Galaxy Note 8 had a great camera, insane amount of local media and movies and games. Whatever it is you're doing, there can only be one phone that's offering this 0.5 terabyte of storage right now. I mean, maybe 2 or 3, but that's what Note is all about, giving you these power user features plus an extra 2 gigs of RAM doesn't hurt. But I think pretty much anyone, including me, will be fine with the 128/6. And then there is also a new cooling system to mention. So Zach, Jerry Rig Everything, he tore into his Note 9 and showed the much bigger copper heat pipe inside this phone. Samsung calls it a water carbon cooling system. All I can tell you is, just from using it, this phone definitely still gets a little bit warm on the back, especially when gaming for a while, or navigating in a warm window of your dashboard or something like that, but definitely never overheated. It is for sure a great gaming phone though. It has the specs and more to keep up, and the most incredible display and some upgraded speakers, so that's still a solid combo. And so then there is the camera, or